looking alphabetical order or whatever, you know, like the resolution and all that, or somebody.
The agenda?
Yeah, you know, instead of having.
Okay, you mean, so that Jackie put it in.
Barely got it.
Yes, Michael, hey.
Look, you know, it's the
Yeah, so
season.
you just like look at the agenda and click on it. So we're good.
Oh, see,
We went into the parking lot at the same time.
Wait,
Yeah, we all came together. That's right. Yes, we did.
It's perfect. Well, no, not really, I was baking.
Well, you didn't bring anything in here.
Well, it's not done yet, unless the paper's there.
Hey, round table. I got the soup.
This is one cake in
Get her hard copy.
Bea, do you need a hard copy? Or do you have?
Oh, you've got your tablet?
Okay.
Here, I got the
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's 6 o'clock. Call this meeting to order. We will, this time, I would ask that you stand, and Steve Renfro will have our prayer, and will be followed by Dr. Ron lead the Pledge of Allegiance.
Hold our heads. My gracious Heavenly Father, we come to you again, thanking you for another wonderful day that you've let us be part of once again. And as we conduct this meeting tonight, we just ask for your guidance in all the decisions that have to be made, and that there be good ones to move this city forward and into the place to where it needs to be. But most of all, we thank you that you are the reason for this season, your Son, Jesus Christ, the Savior of the world. And thank you for all the blessings of each day. In Christ's name, we pray all things. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Gordon, please call the roll.
Ms. Granberry? Here. Mr. Davis?
Here.
Mr. Bailey?
Here.
Ms. Blankenship? Here. And Mr. White?
Here.
All present.
There's a quorum being duly stated, and we will now this time officially open the meeting. First item of business is the approval, correction of minutes from the prior meeting, November 21st, 2017. Minutes should be received either on paper or through the computer.
Mayor, I read over those and I move their approval.
Motion made for approval, is there a second? Duly seconded. Is there any further discussion about it? All in favor of approval of the minutes, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign, those minutes are approved. Item 5, awards, presentations, appointments.
Mayor, we don't have any, but we will in January. We'll have several board appointments that I want to talk to you about between now and January.
Okay. Item 6 is completion, review of any unfinished business from the prior meeting. We have one item on that, it's item A, ordinance 2017-1015, public hearing, final reading, an ordinance amending Title 1, Chapter 1, Section 1-102, Order of Business of the Mount Pleasant Municipal Code, adopting a new title which adds a section for mayor's report to the agenda for regular monthly meetings.
And this is a public hearing, and once passed tonight, we will change the agenda as we present it to you in the future, but I have not heard any feedback negative at all, and it's not a problem at all. They have a report from the mayor each meeting.
Is anyone here for our record to speak for or against this subject? Record show no one was present to speak for or against it. Madam Chair, entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Mr. Davis made that motion.
Ordinance 2017-1015.
For approval. Second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Granberry. Any further discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Ordinance has passed. Item 7, monthly financial budget report.
It's gonna be short and sweet. November's usually kind of our, in-between month. Tax bills have already gone out, but we generally won't start really we're already starting to collect them in the month of December, but the month of November, we don't do a whole lot of collections on those. The cash balances are kind of remaining steady. The water was decreased some. Not a whole lot, it's just a 3.9% decrease, but we expect that to change in the next month or two as the gas usage will increase in the month of December. The gas fund has a checking balance and savings and CD balances, excluding the customer deposits, a little over $2.4 million. And the general fund is a little over $1.6 million. Have any questions?
Questions? Okay. Chair will entertain a motion to accept this report, please.
So moved.
Duly moved, the second.
Second.
Duly seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. That report has been accepted. Item 8, monthly report from City Manager.
Mayor and Commissioners, the departments have all turned in their reports. You have one sitting in front of you from Robert. He was in a class last week in Pigeon Forge, and that should complete them. And then I'll put those together to create the state of the city that will be available January 1st. Unless there's any questions.
Approximately how many of our census forms have been turned in now?
We think we're at 50%. And so what we're going to do is make a big effort after the holidays.
What is the deadline?
March 1st.
Item 9, special report from the other city departments committees. Have we been talking about those? Do you have anything?
There is not a wastewater liaison report, and there is not a Mount Pleasant gas report.
Any questions about anything like that? We can vote no report.
No, sir.
Okay, item 10, new business. Item A, presentation acceptance of fiscal year 2016-2017 audit.
Mayor and Commissioners, Mr. Belafonte is here. Does everybody have a copy of the actual bound audit and the letter with it? Okay. Corey, did you get one? I don't have one yet. And then, if you don't mind, Mr. Belafonte, told you I limited his time speaking.
I'm going to limit my time.
You asked for 15 minutes or 30 minutes, and I told you 5.
That's a limitation, yeah. Fortunately, I'm not very long-winded, but appreciate being here and serving the city. We completed our audit this month, and it's in the blue covers. 95 Belafonte. If you turn to page 7, that's the independent auditor's report. That's basically our report on the financial statements. And it says that the financial statements are presented fairly in accordance with accepted accounting principles. And also we talk about governmental accounting principles, all of these things in the report. I'm going to present a few main points of the report. On page 7, I'm sorry, I already did that, okay. That's a standard letter, and it's called an unqualified opinion, which just means that there's no exceptions, and that's good. That's a very good, that's the highest report you can obtain. Page 10 is what's called a management discussion and analysis. We call it MD&A for short. It just kind of gives the highlights of the outcome of your financials for the year. The city's net position, or net worth, increased by roughly $1.2 million. That means the revenues and the city expenditures by $1.2 million. In addition to that, total debt decreased by about $1.85 million. Overall, it seemed to be a very healthy year for the city.
Like I said earlier, we didn't have any negative findings that we would have to mention in the, we'd be required to mention in the report. That happens occasionally, but y'all have been working on this for several years to get to this point. So there's my 5 minutes of fame, I guess. So, do you have any questions? I've been...
We don't ever put, I guess, the total debt or whatever in here.
It's the total debt,
Yeah.
MD&A.
Okay.
One thing you did differently this year, which I applaud you for this is the mayor's idea, actually, was to have a preliminary meeting and then a meeting after we were through before we present it to the court. And that's kind of how they do it in county government, and I understand that. And that's really a good thing, so y'all know level playing ground. I mean, we discussed it with your staff as we're going, so it's good for the elected officials to know that what's going on all the time. So I think the city's moved forward in that area, big step forward, you know.
Based on other companies, other cities, towns, or businesses, you might know, would you say would be a good, I noticed our debt went down 6%. Is that in line with what you target should be, or should be greater than that? Or?
Well, it just really depends. I mean, you could have a situation where it goes down altogether, I guess, and extinguishes could go up quite a bit, depending on what your activities are. The main thing is you don't want to incur debt that you can't service. You have to be able to service your debt at all times.
Well, they won't allow us to.
Is there no standard that hypothetically gives us targets to shoot at and reduce some debt? I know it depends on how a lot of factors could factor into it. I would think there would be something that we ought to shoot a little bit for.
Well, zero debt and your assets would be something that there may be a half a year's revenues would be great on deposit. Some organizations go for a whole year. But very seldom we see a city with no debt, but you can achieve that. But I really don't know if that's...
Can you imagine any city that's doing anything at all not having debt?
I know, you wouldn't be doing anything. That's my point, was that if you're going to be doing things, moving forward, you know, you've got a lot of things going on down here, and it's very exciting for you guys, and you've got to have a little bit of debt to move forward, that makes things happen.
We got a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
We got a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Because the rest everybody wants in there.
Yeah.
Maybe
You know.
that debt schedule in the audit is on pages 46 and 47.
Have you reviewed that pretty good? Is that?
They got the numbers from us, so.
We're in the books.
I didn't see that.
Do you guys actually physically go back and manage that, looking at a statement or anything, just to verify those numbers?
Oh, yes, sir.
Just making sure.
Yes, sir, we verify.
I would expect it.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we don't just, take the word for it.
They don't trust us.
I had someone say one time that, in God we trust, all others we audit. You know, but, we find that y'all's, we've had cases where it's just really difficult to nail everything down, as it were, but it's gotten a lot better. It's really much improved. And so, it's not never perfect. You could always have some improvement, I guess, but, going forward, I think y'all just keep moving in the right direction. That's the main thing. We've had some really these meetings have not always been very easy to discuss the finances of the city after the audit. And it's not easy to audit. It wasn't always easy to audit the city in the past. It's not easy. It's never easy, but it's much more pleasant today than it was 3, 4, 5 years ago.
I think I can believe that.
Excuse me?
I said, I think I can believe
You can believe
that.
that, yes, it's true.
And most of the commissioners are aware that we did have a incident of theft with our employee, and we addressed it immediately. There's been restitution, and we changed our internal control policies. We do have some staff that are in the office that collect the money that are still trying to figure out exactly all of the changes that have been made, and we're trying to keep the communication open back and forth, because there have been changes made. We don't accept any money back here in the police department anymore, but all of that is a result of us learning and needing to make changes to our internal control policy that you all approved. So I think we're in a lot better place now with that, too.
And that, is that shown up in this audit?
It's mentioned.
It should be mentioned in the internal control.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, as far as hadn't been in place for a whole year yet.
No, you're right.
So it will show up more easily, I would imagine, in next year's audit, as far as finding
Control.
figures, yeah.
Even if there's a dollar missing, you're supposed to mention it. You're
Yeah.
mentioning it.
Yeah. Well, I know that, but I was just saying with our new internal control with the money in-house as to who's handling it.
Actually, I had requested the auditor look at the new internal controls that we've had and to just kind of look sure that we were complying with them or making it a recommendation based on his observations.
I know I can go back and look, but it's out of curiosity. Lorraine, do you remember off the top of your head how much our debt has gone, percentage gone down from last year to this year?
It says 6%, but just put a dollar figure on that. 6% of what, 18?
I mean, last year was it, I mean, the percentage was
46 and 47.
46 and 47.
I don't think it's a joke, right?
I don't have. They're not in percentages. They've got the balances last year, and then they've got how much
Okay.
they've gone down in your.
Okay.
Yeah, you can compare column
Yeah, I
to
can
column.
compare. I thought, okay. I was just looking for a percentage, it was fine.
The only one that actually increased should have been that Mount Joy.
Yeah, but we knew it would.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Any more questions? Thank you very much, appreciate it.
Continue the good work, I'd say. I wouldn't normally say that because of the fact that, you know, things are really great. I mean, really have improved a lot. Really.
Appreciate what you do.
I like seeing that.
Be careful going home.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Watch those cops, they're bad down here.
Oh, I'm
The state prisoners particularly.
Oh, they are out.
Righty. Move on then into the item B.
Oh,
We need to accept the audit.
Oh, that's right, excuse me, I'm sorry.
I'll make a motion to accept this, please.
Okay, motion been made to accept the audit, is there a second? Been duly seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Audit's been accepted unanimously. Item B, resolution authorizing the city of Mount Pleasant, Tennessee to submit an application for funds from the Tennessee Department of Economic and Community Development Block Grant Program.
Mayor and Commissioners, as you well know, we did not, or either the county or the city in this last go-round, so we're going right back in February, and this first resolution, 2017-35, is the city's resolution for the block grant program. And I want to point out that the grant, if we receive it, would be $525,000, and the total cost of the project is $954,000, which leaves a balance of $429,000 for the city to match. We intend to match that with the USDA Rural Development Grant and long-term loans. We're just tying it into the larger application that we're doing for the sewer rehabilitation. So it wouldn't be cash out of our budget. It'll be part of that rural development loan and grant program. I'm happy to answer any questions. So the city's part of the grant is for the trunk line and reducing the I&I in the system, which surprisingly is about $1 million. If you remember, that wasn't included in the package, and we went back in and included it in the package, so. The balance of the $429,000 that the city's responsible for will come out of other funds, not our funds.
Any more questions? Any discussion about this?
Hopefully we get it for next year.
Yeah, and we'll know October of next year.
We'll do better this year, next year. Second Chairman, motion.
I'll make a motion we accept as presented.
Motion is duly made, it was Accept this resolution. Is there a second?
Second.
Second. Any further discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. That's resolution 2017-35. Item C, resolution 2017-36, a resolution of Maury County, Tennessee, in cooperation with the city of Mount Pleasant to submit an application to the State of Tennessee Community Development Block Grant Program.
Mayor and Commissioners, this is the county block grant application that we have asked for them to apply on our behalf, and I'll be going to the county commission meeting in January. In this, what we're really doing in this resolution is we're committing the $100,000 match, which is 15% of the $525,000 grant, and that we are committing that we will pay that should the county get the funding. And this is specifically for constructing a new wastewater plant, headworks, upgrading the pump station, and rehabilitating the existing aerobic digester, all part of the big plan to rehabilitate our sewer system. So we're tying in the CDBG to the big overall project that we have in front of USDA Rural Development. This $100,000 that we're committing to is probably something we would be budgeting for the 2019-20 budget year. It would be announced that if we hear next October that we get it, they'd start engineering and stuff, but it wouldn't be until past July of 2019 that we actually need the money. And we would certainly come up with $100,000 to accept $525,000. And I will go to the county commission once this is approved, saying that we'll meet the match, and I'll go to the budget committee first, so the budget committee will tell the full commission that it's not costing the county anything, basically, which is what they want to hear. I'm happy to answer any questions.
We just need to approve.
Yes. And you won't get the approval unless you voted to make the match.
Any further discussion? Chairman, entertain a motion, please. Motion been made to accept this resolution. Is there a second? Second. Duly seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, like sign. The resolution is passed unanimously. Item D, resolution requesting the Maury County Industrial Development Board use the proceeds of the sale of the spec building toward the construction of another spec building in Cherry Glen Business Park.
Mayor and Commissioners, we talked about this at our study session, and you wanted this put on the agenda. This is basically saying keep the money rolling into the next project of another spec building. The board that kind of governs Cherry Glen Park will be meeting in January to talk about the next steps with that, but the spec building sold for $1 million. They have their permit. They got that today, a $4,000 permit. Small Tourist Ram is moving forward, and it's just, we have $150,000 invested in that, and this resolution says carry that into the next project.
Well, we'll probably require for some more money though, right?
Pardon?
We'll have to put some
Given
more
that there was a
together.
total of $1.5 million and it's sold for $1 million, yeah. What we're saying is whatever we have in there, keep it until we get to the next step on any project.
And where did you get the money before? Where did that money come from?
I honestly don't know. I would imagine it would have come from fund balance. Fund balance that once you have everything paid for in the budget, you still have $2 million left, and that's where the money comes from. Well, with City of Mount Pleasant, it was the power system, it was TVA, it was county. Yeah, we were the 150 of that bigger number. But as far as where it came from our budget, I would say fund balance.
It's been a while.
Mhm.
So, this, with the new business and all, come on the same system?
No, so the building that's out there is sold, and now there's $1 million still sitting with the Maury County Industrial Development Board, and this resolution is saying keep the Mount Pleasant portion in there and move it towards the next development like another spec building, rather than say divide it all
I
up.
mean, I
in terms-
understand that, but is that gonna be enough?
No, I think the mayor's saying the same thing. They probably will have to come back and ask for more. But this is just saying, don't dissolve the
Al
account.
said that last Thursday.
Yeah,
Yeah, they think that they'll.
I asked him that last
Yeah.
Thursday.
they
it's just
think-
we don't know how much, don't know when, so
It's
It
a
might be
call.
another 2 or 3 years.
it might be a fiscal year in the future, for sure. But you're just saying now, you're not asking for the money back, keep it in there for further projects. But yeah, you're right, it probably isn't for that.
Al thought that the increase of the new facility would be about $300,000 over the bridge.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense.
Well, we've been very successful with that. Well, how long was it? 6 months?
What, 6 months? I mean, under contract prior to that?
From completion
Mhm.
to having a contract, that's fantastic.
I like what we know, and I appreciate everybody involved, doing that.
It was a good partnership.
It really was.
Derek Church deserves a lot of credit for that.
Yes, he does.
So that spanned over several years.
It's a nice building. Any motion for that?
I'll make a motion, Mayor, in favor of resolution 2017-37.
Okay, it's a second to that motion. Okay. Any further discussion? We don't have to call a roll call, this is Mike.
Ms. Granberry? Here.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
In support of what you just voted on.
Here
and yes.
Okay, yes. Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. Bailey?
Yes.
Ms. Blankenship?
Yes.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Ms. Granberry's in shock because I was still in the parking lot.
He draws these vehicles, doesn't he? Okay, that's 5-0, unanimous. I think, congratulate the commission on doing that. I think it's a good step forward for the city of Mount Pleasant and Murray County. Item 11, are there any citizens, chief, that signed up?
Search
No?
plan.
Okay.
Yes. Bring that paper out here, but first, just in fact, I have two
Come on,
questions.
honey.
Now, you don't have to tell me to come up here, I'm
I
coming.
know you do it. You do it better than I am.
Thank you, Mr. John. I like
Okay,
that.
the first question I have, what is going to become of Arrow Lake?
You want me to address it?
I mean, yeah, it's not a
It's probably
city, it's
not
not
as
a...
much. This is it's an answer we can't give you because we're not privileged to know exactly what's happening out there. But that thing went into a brownfield agreement several years ago, and they're going to complete their work hopefully by this summer, in X number of years to finish it and satisfy the EPA of the cleanup out there. So their cleanup should be finished. They're drawing that water down so they can do some testing in there and see what the final disposition that's going to be.
Second question, I noticed where Clark Training School was, there's a for sale sign there by the owner.
But no, it's not the same area.
It's not?
What this is, Ms. Johnson, that part that goes back there, where the, you know where the little house is?
Uh-huh.
It used to be where the band room is, that part there. It's not the part that the guy had talked about putting the
Putting the
company.
company, okay.
How big is that?
I stopped by the other side. I don't know how big it is. But it goes all the way back to the end of his property, but I don't know how wide it is, but it is, the little house is still sitting on it.
Yeah, I
But
saw
only because
that.
I went up there to ask, he was up there and I asked him.
Oh,
That house where the Hines used to live had to go to that thing?
Yeah, that house. I went up there being nosy.
Yeah, I saw that.
Uh-huh.
But don't go out there late being nosy.
I've been out there too. I've been out
All
there.
kind of trucks that support you all.
I've been out there too.
It wasn't very kind to me, so I don't know.
Well,
They ran him off too.
They ran me off too, so don't feel bad about it.
Yeah, I didn't feel bad after they ran him off.
didn't bother me.
No, it didn't
Okay,
bother
that's
me
all,
either.
that's all I have.
Benefits of living in a small town.
He was just doing his job, the reason he asked me.
Any other comments from you here?
No. I have one nice comment, it's short and sweet. I'd like to thank all of the city, of the employees that helped us with the Christmas parade and the Murray Mayberry Day that went so smoothly, and it would not have without the help of all the elected officials too, which I did a good job too, it was great. But of that day, and it was a lot of fun, and the business people asked that I would thank and express the thanks of all the business people, because they said that was one of the best retail days they've had. And it was, their stores were filled, and our parking spots were filled, and it was just a really good day. So I'd like to thank you, and also for your report that you give us every month. It makes for interesting reading, and I've shared it with the gentleman in the diner and the store merchants to see what's going on. So thank you for your information.
You tell them what I said.
What's that?
Told her she does a good enough job to do a weekly paper.
Yep, she does, doesn't she?
This time, we're going to recess this meeting. We're going into the executive session, closed session, to discuss possible lawsuits that are here, so forth, to bring us up to date at the end of the year. If you remember, those of you who come here regularly, occasionally, we used to do this at the first of the meeting, and you had to sit out there and wait till we got through doing that and then come back out. So we've done that, I think, to help our citizens not have to sit here and wait. But we can't take any more official action tonight. There'll be no more votes taken. There's nothing to be taken in there.
We'll vote to
Attorney has to be with us, so
That's it.
we still have an information session for us. I'm not let her talk. She's got in here late. Fred, what you got, honey?
I don't have anything. I just tried to start coming to the meeting so I could really be informed about what's going on in Mount Pleasant, because I have sit back long enough and they just let everything happen and we just read about it. And I want to be part of it. And I know a lot of people want to be part of it, but they want to be feel like they're part of it. Because I've been living here in Mount Pleasant for 66 years. So I want to be a part. I want my grandkids to be a part.
We actively seek people to participate. Quite honestly, it's sometimes very hard to fill these boards, not just here, but everywhere else. People don't want to get involved. I've been turned down more than I've ever been accepted to put people on board, so
I don't want to
we
do
just
it.
started.
I was going to say, somebody's asked.
Sir,
I'm glad to see you guys. Somebody's asked her to be involved.
We started
She'll be involved if we ask her.
We start at 6 o'clock now, Freddie, too. You
All
start
right.
at 7. We start at 6 o'clock, so you're always welcome to come back and meet twice a month, at least twice a month. Sometimes we call me, but you're always welcome here.
Thank you for coming.
Y'all can sit here, or...
And then we come back and adjourn.
Or we just we'll recess and go in here and go home where you need to do. Somebody pick that Harold, man.
Appreciate it.
You clean that pretty good. I get me a good job like you got, I'm gonna start dressing like that. Good on. Good on.